Three, two, one. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 241 of the KBMOD podcast. It is July 3rd, 2016, and we've got a good cast for you today. We have a very special guest, somebody that hasn't been on in a bit. That's right.
Oh, that's me.
Nick Fenton. Nick.
Hey,
what's going on?
nice to be here.
Are you recreating your bag lady conversation from earlier today?
Shut up.
You
Stop. You can't bring that up now. Not now.
Wait, what is this?
Shut up. No, it didn't happen.
Okay. Anyway, if Nick wants to share it, he can share it. But he told me he had an experience with a bag lady at the
I
grocery
started
store.
in front of the bag lady at the grocery store today.
Did she look at you weird, or was she?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So nothing to be ashamed of. We all get stage fright occasionally.
There's a little bit to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Get stage fright at the grocery store?
Yeah.
Where it's not a stage?
Yeah.
Life is a stage, though.
Life is. It can
Damn,
be tough.
Jaden.
But it's good to have Nick on the cast. Brandon is at RTX this weekend, so that is why he is not here. You know, Brandon always a stickler for attendance on the podcast. He's missed 2 episodes. I mean, again, to be fair, weddings and like actual events, but missed quite a few. Yeah, we might. I don't know. A lot of absentees lately, so we'll have to see. But Brad, you're here as well. KD, of course. Mm-hmm. How are you guys doing this week?
Doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Trying to manage my mic enough to where fireworks don't pick up in the background.
Yes. Yeah, you said your neighbors who you and your family really have enjoyed over the years.
Oh yes,
setting those off. I believe you called them drunks. I think.
Yes.
On the pre-show.
They're perpetually drunk all the
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
I said before the cast, one time they called the police when we were kids. Like I was with a bunch of kids playing in the front yard, and they called the police saying that we stole a light bulb out of their porch light.
Wow.
So that was a great evening. There was one time when I was cutting the grass in the backyard, and I'll admit I cut a little less than I should have, but the neighbor intentionally did not cut that little small, like about 4 inches wide line of grass and just left it there to be overgrown. It's just,
So why'd you do it?
Great people. It was an honest mistake, but maybe he could just move his more over to the bit and
So
get
some
it,
real
but no,
petty
to,
shit between the two families have well, not mostly on their end. It sounds like
constant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're setting off fireworks right
I want
now.
to know what you did with light bulb.
Yeah, where did
I
you
didn't
put
touch
it?
the fucking light bulb.
Where did you put
No,
it?
What did
you
you do
clearly
with it, you
stole it.
piece of shit?
I didn't stick it. I swear,
man.
I did not take the light bulb. As appealing as it was,
Yeah.
Was it
I
nice
swear.
light-
I mean, I don't know if we can take the word of somebody who's watched a couple have sex in the park with his friends, but
okay.
I mean,
Sorry, what?
you missed that.
No. That's not coming back.
Oh man. Let's just say Katie
This
told a
is
story.
my bag lady.
Yeah, let's just say
Let's just
Katie
let
told a
this go.
story about going just to hang in the park with his friends on like one afternoon, and they ended up they ended up catching a couple having sex, and he talked about it like it was super normal, and I guess in Indiana it probably was normal. We just thought it was
In Indiana, there's just constant rampant sex and murder.
Oh well, I don't know about the murder, but it's not coming back like that guy did.
Hey.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That was good.
but all right. Well, we had a little bit of homework, which we should discuss here. I want to do this while this is fresh in my mouth and in my mind. And I know 2 of us did the assignment. Brad was unable to complete the assignment because he has no fast food around where he lives in bumblefuck nowhere, apparently. Right, Brad? Is that
Yes.
Is that
correct?
your address? 123 Bumblefuck
Bumble.
nowhere.
Bumblefuck.
Bumblefuck, yes.
Yep.
But so we had talked about one of the news stories we talked about was Burger King released the mac and Cheetos delight for
Yes.
I don't know. I think it was what does it end up being?
It's not called a delight, is it?
No, it's not called a delight,
No.
but it's just some special that they're running and I guess testing out. And I had originally thought that it was only on the West Coast according to the article, but yeah, Katie said you confirmed that you had thought you had seen it, and yeah, it's all over the place. So I guess they went national with this little thing. And if you haven't seen it or don't know what it is, it's it's basically like a spin. It looks like a mozzarella stick, but instead of obviously mozzarella, it's got mac and cheese inside, and on the outside, it's basically just a Cheeto. And okay, so Katie, you can go first. So you tried it first. You tried it pretty quick actually after we talked about it.
I got some the morning after the last podcast.
The morning after. Hold on.
The morning after.
You got the shit for breakfast.
Basically, yeah. I got it on the way to class, which is like noon, so it was it was my brunch. But no, they're $2.50. They come in a little box of about 5. And God, I remember I wasn't really disgusted.
Were you expecting, like, what were your what was your expectations of what you're about to eat?
I think I got exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting just some Cheeto. Like, I was hoping there wasn't like a lot of like cheese flavor, like they were really overdoing it, because Cheetos are cheesy. But I felt like the Cheeto outside really didn't have a lot of cheese. Okay. I thought the mac and cheese, if I just got that by itself, wouldn't be too bad. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't think it tasted exactly how I expected. I don't think I'll ever get it a second time. But I don't think it tasted terrible.
Okay, before we move on to Scott.
Yeah.
A 0 out of 10, what would you rate?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like a 6 or a 7.
Oh, okay.
Katie Zen has this thing where this is like your summer review. You have this thing you do where you like talk about not really liking something that much, but then you rate it way higher than I would ever expect. Like a 6 or a 7 is pretty solid to me.
Okay, no, you should ask me how to rate out of 5, because listen, I'm about to go on a rant.
Oh, okay.
The 10 scale. Okay. Oh, hold on, firework. Okay. The 10 scale is so bad.
Yeah.
You've got 10, which is perfect, which is not going to happen. 9's really good. 8's good. 7's okay. 6 is bad. 5 is bad. 4, 3, 2, and 1 are all bad. It sucks. Let's do the 5 scale.
Okay.
I would give them a 3 out of 5. They're not terrible. I didn't think they were bad, but it's not something I'd ever get again. Boom.
Okay.
You got 5. Listen, you can't rate stuff a 10, because then you have all this like, oh wow, they gave that game a 10. That must be the shit. When you can give something a 5, and it's like, okay, that's pretty damn good, and you can, excuse minor problems. Or like, say, in something like they'll give it a 9.5 or a 9.75 in like shitty Game Informer. And it's like,
to me then though, I agree with chat. Why wouldn't you just pick a 5? Like a 5 out of 10 is it's average. Like it didn't offend you. It wasn't horrible.
If that's how people's systems work.
But yeah, the 5 scale is universally that way. The 10 scale, you've got those people who think 5 is okay, and you've got people that go by like the grading system.
Okay.
But 5, I think, listen, if you see something that's a 6 out of 10, you're probably not going to try it. But if you see something that's a 3 out of 5, be like, okay, I think I have more tendency to try this.
I think I've lived my life that a 6 out of 10 is pretty exceptional for me, and I would probably try it. But okay, all right. So you're saying 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 for you. It would be 3 out of 5 on the 5 scale, though.
Somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't really go in. I don't know what I went in expecting. I kind of got what I expected. I wasn't super enamored with the idea, just in the sense that I didn't know how the mac and cheese was going to mix with the Cheeto. And they made me, so I'm going to tell, okay, so I tried to get these last night. Obviously, we're recording this on a Sunday. I tried to get these Saturday night, and I made a couple of mistakes. The first mistake I made was ever believing that anybody at Burger King could competently put an order together. That was my first mistake. Yeah. I know that sounds super, but so I didn't. So I get there. I go there. I ordered that, and I ordered. I got a sandwich as well. I got a Whopper, which was separate, but I didn't order that many items, and it was a pretty simple order. And I was asked, because I guess it was a little bit late when I went. They told me to pull forward like they do sometimes at fast food places, because they were going to make me a fresh batch. Okay, and I was like, that's nice, Okay, they probably don't have any ready. Whatever. I'll wait here. I'll sit. So I sat. I waited for 5 minutes. A little more than 5 minutes for my food. And the girl was very pleasant when I had talked to her at the drive-thru. She seemed like she knew what she was doing. I detected integrity in her voice. She told me that she would also, I had asked for some ketchup, some napkins, some salt and pepper, and she was like, yes, I'll put all of that in the bag. And, I figure when they ask you to, I know I am, but when they ask you to pull forward, what
the fuck?
At a Burger King?
Okay, listen. Maybe my expectation.
You are the person that gets a little paper package of salt and pepper. What the fuck? Are you 80?
I am. Maybe my expectations are too high. Okay.
You disgust me.
Okay. So anyway, I pull forward. I wait for my food. She comes out. She hands it to me. I make the mistake I make is trusting in anybody because I didn't look into the bag to check my order. But I figured there weren't that many items. It's pretty simple. Like I just pulled off. I wasn't really thinking about it. You know, happy that I had gotten my mac and Cheetos and my sandwich. So I pull off, and I come home, and I don't check the bag until I get back. And what do? I open the bag and I look down and I see French fries. I didn't order French fries. And I'm like, okay, but maybe they just gave me French fries and also put in the mac and Cheetos. Nope. No mac and Cheetos in the bag. The sole reason that I actually went, no mac and Cheetos. And I'm not going to lie, I was super livid to the point where my girlfriend literally had to calm me down. She's like, I said this. I said, if I ever see that bitch again, like I lost it. I fucking lost it. I don't know why. I was so incensed because I put trust in this woman to get a simple, like, she seemed so genuine. And my girlfriend literally, like, she was like, she's like, you can get them tomorrow. I was like, that's not the point. She betrayed my trust.
See this bitch again.
Like, what was I gonna do? I just went full nuclear. I was really frustrated. And, so anyway, that was my first attempt, and I mean, it's the cardinal sin that you don't check your bag. You know what I mean?
Before you leave.
Before you leave. Like that's on me. I get that. I understand it. But it's true. I ate the Whopper. Of course, I ate the Whopper, and I calmed down. But still, I was very disappointed, and especially because like I had paid for them and they weren't even in the bag. So anyway, I was actually at Nikon's, as I told this Nick, I was grilling out. We were grilling steaks with Nikon Punch tonight. And as I was on my way back, they actually have a Burger King near them. So I stopped, and they made me, I'm sorry, I know this was all supposed to be what my fucking review is, but I had to give background. So they made me a fresh batch. Again, I waited. And this time I only ordered one item, so there was no way they could possibly come out and not give me what I ordered. And they didn't. They gave me the mac and Cheetos, and they were fresh. I let them cool down a little bit. And then I tried them. And Katie's on, I pretty much agree with you. They were okay. They weren't the worst thing I've ever had, but they definitely aren't something I would ever order again. So to me, if you're a fast food place, though, that's a failure, right?
Compared to those loaded Doritos from 7-Eleven.
Oh my God. You know what?
Those are so bad.
The loaded Doritos. Yeah, I didn't really like the loaded. Again, this is what I actually said when I was eating them. If I was fucking hammered right now, which is, again, I know that could go for like any food.
I mean, yeah, it's basically just nacho cheese in like a fried shell thing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if I was hammered or whatever, like I'm sure that I probably would have enjoyed it more. But sober, same thing with like the loaded Doritos or whatever that you're saying. Like, I don't really like them that much. So I agree with Katie. I would say maybe for me a 5 out of 10 on the 10 scale, and it would be a 2 out of 5 though, if we were on the 5 scale.
Oh, okay.
Because they just weren't really. It was kind of, honestly, it was a little off-putting. Like the Cheetos flavor, at least on mine, were pretty pronounced, mixed with the mac and cheese, which tastes like mac and cheese if you ever had like KFC mac and cheese or Boston Market mac and cheese, which is like, it's not like horrible, but it's clearly like fast food.
So
mac and cheese.
What's in a loaded Dorito?
Just cheese.
Just cheese,
like
yeah.
Cheese.
It's a triangle.
It's like a mozzarella
Cheese.
stick, but instead it's like Doritos.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe those are okay, like super fresh or super made. I feel like I always got the ones that were like had been sitting there whenever I tried
Is super fresh
them.
an option when you're getting something that has to be heated?
That's
up
probably
at
not an
7-Eleven?
option.
Super fresh. I went to a Steak and Shake one time, and
Yeah.
I was with someone a Steak and Shake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was with someone who I never went there before. With that person, they were like, they ordered a milkshake, and I was like, yeah, can I get that with real ice cream? And the waitress was like, yeah, I can do that. Thinking like, wait,
What?
you have to ask for real ice cream?
This was that Steak and Shake?
Yeah. Like, what are they using?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we use some kind of solution. I was like, shit.
Yeah. Well, I
been
mean, that's
having
what
fake
you're.
ice
Do you
cream
think you're getting real ice cream at
my
fast food
entire life.
places though? Because you're getting that fake. It's the same shit. You're getting whatever fake.
Well,
Most
if
places.
that's the case, then I'm glad they have the option
Yeah.
for
Listen, Katie,
actual
son,
ice cream.
You've been getting the fake shit this entire time. You know what? You know why? Because you get what you are.
Oh,
Damn that fake shit.
Damn.
Uh,
Roasted.
Wow.
bruh.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so anyway, for the people, I know there was James in the UK, one of our viewers and listeners, like James, you're not missing anything, right, Katie? Would you say like they're not? I don't think they're missing anything.
No, you can go your whole life without having a mac and Cheeto,
and be
you
fine.
You can die pretty happy.
I honestly think I probably would have liked it better if it was like a proper mozzarella. Because God, I love mozzarella sticks. So
oh yeah,
I think if it had the Cheeto layer on the outside with mozzarella, I think it probably would have been better. It didn't really mix well with the mac and cheese. It was just
if they made jumbo mac and Cheetos that were like 4 times like no, not like that big, just like the size of mozzarella sticks, like really pump in some mac and cheese in there, that would be delicious. Instead of trying to make some fake ass Cheetos.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
So small, but yeah, I would, man.
Not fantastic. Like not horrible. Like you could eat them and I'm sure enjoy them. And again, if you were hammered or otherwise influenced,
bro, let's get some mac and Cheeto.
Yeah, I could totally see that being a situation. Like what's the place that totally buys into like basically people being high as fuck? Was that Jack in the Box that did their like high menu?
Oh yeah, they do the munchie meals.
The munchies. The munchie meals. And it truly is like you look at the combinations and you know, it's just for people that are super
Those
fucking
are the
high.
shit though.
Yeah. Brad eats them sober and feels fine.
Dude,
loves
Jack in the Box is solid.
See,
one just like
really
started up next to me. And that's pretty good.
Is it solid?
I don't.
Yeah.
I never really
got
I only like one thing, and it's from the munchie meal.
There's a good variety, but I don't know if I would call it solid.
Yeah.
All I got was the double, like whatever the value. It says like jumbo in the title, whatever that is on the value. I don't know, the jumbo stack or something like that. But that, and then I had a 10-piece chicken nugget, and it was all right.
Okay.
It tasted pretty.
I will tell you I haven't ate fast food in a while, so if I went back, it might be really gross for all I know. But I used to eat a lot of fast food because I lived near a lot of it. I used to eat this thing called the chicken tater melt munchie meal.
Oh, please do tell. Please do tell.
Okay. So
chicken tater melt.
A buttery croissant topped with crispy chicken, bacon, hash browns smothered in ooey gooey blend of 3 cheeses and ranch sauce.
Ooey gooey. The words ooey gooey. Fuck no.
Wow.
2 regular tacos, half seat fries, and a fountain drink. All for $6.
Wow.
You know what?
But
I mean,
that's the only thing I like though. That's what I'd go back for.
Okay. Well, a lot of people like Jack in the Box because they always talk about the 2 tacos for $1, like super late.
The tacos are trash.
And I know, that's what I'm saying. But I think people grew up with them and then grew up, you know, like as their, and so that's the only way I can attribute to that because I agree. Like not growing up in that area, to me, the tacos were terrible. I never got it. I thought they were awful.
So mine was
tacos don't need to be cheaper. They're already cheap anyway.
Yeah.
So my Jack in the Box would put everything in the taco, lettuce and everything, and would deep fry the whole.
Oh my fucking Lord.
Oh my god. Wow.
It was so gross.
Wow. So
anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, I know this always becomes the food cast, but I did want to talk about that. So yeah. Anyway, I guess the summary is pass. Yeah, overall pass. Like I was glad that I tried them so that I wasn't wondering, but I would never order them again. So. Like, my whole point was, though, that if you're a fast food chain, that has to be a failure, right? If we're reviewing it as never try it again. Like I'm sure if it was, like, if they were taking off, they would maybe make it a permanent fixture. Who knows?
Well,
like
clearly,
Taco Bell does with certain things.
the winner out of this is Burger King because they got both of you to go in.
Well, sure.
Scott twice.
Yeah, they got me to buy it twice and only actually got my product once. So, yeah, they're living high off my $2.66 or whatever the fuck they charged me. Still mad about it, but it's all right. If I ever see Teresa again, that bitch is dead. Anyway, all right.
I don't think I could muster the courage to say that I want the mac and Cheetos.
What does that give you anxiety to even say that to somebody?
I don't think I could. No, well, that's not true. I go to Taco Bell all the time and say stupid shit.
Yeah, but you're comfortable with Taco Bell. You don't. I mean, you probably don't eat a Burger King
home
very often, so.
I can't think of the last time I went to a Burger King.
Yeah.
You're probably saving yourself trouble.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. I'm boycotting Burger King after that experience on Saturday night. I'm over it. Never again. I'm sure that my non-patronage will really take down that nefarious fast food organization.
Man, they were doing 10-piece chicken nuggets for $1.50. That was like immediate.
So my brother figured out a system of that where he would buy 50 chicken nuggets and eat them.
Oh my! In one sitting, he would eat 50. That's like orb levels. That's insane.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What is his like? What is his insides like? He must have. I can't imagine that coming out the other end. 50, like 10 will destroy me. I can't imagine 50. Just like what your body does with
10
that.
will destroy you. I could do 10 easy.
No, I'm saying I could eat 10, but like combo.
I would say I'm gonna tap. I would tap out somewhere in the 16 to 18 range.
Yeah.
That's how many nuggets I can put down my gullet.
Yeah. I don't know, like for some reason certain, like I just remember the last I don't really get stuff from Burger King normally anyway, but the last time I had nuggets, they just, again, it could just be this Burger King I go to, they could literally be just doing all kinds of things to my food. Maybe they have me marked or something, they don't like me, but it destroyed me.
The marked one.
Yeah.
That guy from the old grocery who like say, "Hey, what's up, APL?" and you ignored him. He's working at the Burger King.
Oh God,
now.
you're right. When we were, oh God, I forgot about that.
Oh, the Target guy?
Yeah, the guy from Target. That's awkward. I hope not. I hope he's not. No, that would mean he followed me from fucking California, because that was in
Yeah.
California when that happened.
It's obsessed.
That's
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't think that he would do that, but he
know.
would, and that's why he'll get the jump on you.
He probably would. All right. Well, now that we've discussed the mac and Cheetos available at Burger King, this has just been a giant. Wait till I actually reveal that we're actually sponsored by Burger King for this entire segment, but we're not, unfortunately. That would have been nice. But what have we been playing? Nick, we're gonna start with you because you haven't been on the cast in a bit. So, are you playing video games? And if you are,
I mean, not to any
games are you
regular amount.
yeah. But when you do engage, what are you playing?
I mean, I've played Overwatch within the past month, and I've played Mirror's Edge within the past month, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Wait. I downloaded Slither on my phone, and I played 2 rounds, and then I closed it. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Fuck video games as a medium.
Okay, so with Mirror's Edge, though, I know you're a huge fan of the series or franchise. What do you think of the current game?
It's like the same. It's like the same. It's funny because all the parts of the sequel that are improvements are also still the weakest parts.
Okay.
So like the complaints from the first one was like the story is weak and the combat's weak, and like the story and combat are a little bit better, but they're still not very good.
Gotcha.
Characters are not very strong, and actually, it's not even a sequel. They rebooted it.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
It's a reboot.
Oh,
So
I
like
thought it was like a
the whole
prequel
origin
thing.
story,
Really?
it's like, yeah, it's weird. I found out like hours into it, like you hear a different story about like her sister, and it's completely different from the first game where you're trying to rescue her. But yeah, it's okay. It's like buy it on a sale if you like the first one.
Okay. That's and what was
So
the other?
I went to your
Oh, yeah.
I went to your Steam to go shit post on it, Nick. I saw you had Lawbreakers played. How is that? Have you?
I've barely played it, so I can't even give like a legitimate
Oh, really?
impression on
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, yeah, I think I accidentally left it open one day, so I probably have like 20 hours logged on Lawbreakers. But
It's all good.
Okay.
Are they doing a open beta or a closed beta? Or...
I want to
It's
say
close.
it's like it's it's getting close to probably open beta. We're getting the next few months maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. What about you, Katie? What did you play this week?
I played some junk. I played one indie game, which is on sale for $1.50. Criminally cheap. I just blew through it start to finish. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Oh yeah.
If any of you played that.
Nick always talked about that game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah, that game is fucking awesome. It's a single player co-op game. It's like you played through brothers. One player is one stick, or like one brother is one stick, the other is like the right stick.
Yeah.
And it's like it's hard to talk about that spoiling, but it's something that can only be done in a video game. There's like one moment towards the end which like if you played it, you know the one moment which is just like this is the shit. So if it's only 2-3 hours long, really really good for useful something to blow through. But yeah, definitely get that. I played golf with your friends, with a bunch of KBMOD people.
That's a meme
A couple
game,
nights
right?
ago. It's a
So the
meme
kid-
game.
That's what the kids are playing.
Yes, kids that want to get fucking upset at the collision, and when your golf ball is an egg or like a cone, it's very frustrating, but also very fun.
I thought you were going to stop and say for the kids that want to get fucked. I really am glad you continued.
Wait.
For all these kids that want to get
Yeah, get on there. Lots of predators on
game, boy.
on this game. Good lord.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you should play that with people. Watch out for our server, Trump 2016. That's what we're playing on.
That's your server? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then I played some more Enter the Gungeon, which was gifted to me by a dear friend. But I haven't gotten too far in that. I've only played like an hour or two.
Who's the dear friend?
His name's Farron's.
What's her pussy taste like?
Omitted.
Wow. So not good. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah,
That's one way to describe it.
Yeah.
But no, that game's really fun. It's super well polished, and yeah, music's good, sounds good. Get that. And then the System Shock is getting like a remaster Kickstarter of the first game being remade in Unity, and the pre-alpha for it you can play on Steam for free, and that's really promising. It's like seeing it with the comparisons like the original System Shock. It's I believe it's got like original devs working on it, but yeah, it's I heard when you hear it's in Unity, like some flags go up, but for what they did, it's really impressive. I still think the combat needs work, but yeah, it's free on Steam. Play it, and I think I'm gonna. I don't know. I know I'm gonna support the Kickstarter, but it'll be the first Kickstarter I ever supported. But I'm not sure how much I want to give. Part of me wants the Steelbook, but I don't want to wait 3 years to get it.
System Shock seems nice, but like, why would you completely rip off BioShock like that? It's just completely like
yeah, it's
disgusting. It's scummy. It's like it shows that there's no originality in video games anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, you think it'd be like made in China or something. There's just no respect.
Yeah.
But
Poor Ken
I'm
Levine.
a simple man. The game's fun. I still play it. But
God,
yeah,
people are
that's all
gonna
I
be
played
so.
this week.
We're
And-
literally gonna get a comment. We're like, what the fuck?
Fuck KBMOD. And then I played more Rocket League, and got incredibly frustrated at randoms that end up in ranked that I've never played. That's something I wish they'd implement. That you have to reach a certain level before you can go into a ranked playlist. Like you have to be at least pro. But the player base already isn't high, so I don't know how well that would turn out.
Okay.
But yeah,
You
that's
got
all
a
I
lot of
played.
variety this week, Katie. Played a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. All right, Brad. What about you? Because I had to say the word variety because I know exactly what Brad's gonna say. It's gonna be very singular in what he played. But
No, I actually played some different
did you?
things.
Okay. All right. Sorry for doubting.
Yeah, so no, yeah. Well, I played Overwatch, Rocket League, very little Rocket League though. But then yeah, I did play a lot of Rust. So.
Okay. Yes.
But yeah, nothing too exciting there. I've been playing some of the Overwatch competitive, and I don't know, I just can't take it seriously.
You can't take rank seriously?
Yeah, the
Why's
game's already kind of like weirdly balanced as it is. So it's just like the way they have like the map rotation. Well, it's not a rotation, but like how you win like a competitive match, like, you know, character selection, all that, just balance is off anyways. It just doesn't feel right to call it competitive, but I don't know.
Shots fired. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. So what did you end up doing all your placements on ranked yet, or are you still playing through the games?
I think I did, and it was right below 50 or something, which I think is a lot of people got, but
yeah,
right around there, you know.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. Well, I'll go as well. That's all right, Brad. Listen, you don't have to call Overwatch a non-competitive game because you're sad that you got an average rating of a little under 50. It sounds like you're a little bit bitter. You know, is that what maybe is going on, or?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
Whatever you say.
Whatever you say. Just sound a little bit bitter about it. No, I've heard that from multiple people. I haven't watched a ton, but I also heard that, I don't know if this is true, but that you actually get, depending on if you like play non-DPS characters and play support characters, you actually get more points or less points for playing like non-DPS characters. That sounds so insane that I don't want to believe it, but I saw a lot of tweets about that. So
It takes less skill and they're less important, so it makes
yeah,
perfect sense.
like if
to
you're
me.
a healer or a tank. So I don't know. I don't know if you've heard anything on that, but I guess we'll have to.
I haven't. I'll have to try that out. Actually.
Could just be all conjecture, but. All right. I played Counter-Strike as per usual, but I also played Brad's beautiful telling of what makes Rust great last week. Got me and Katie Zen to purchase it during the podcast, and so I loaded that up on Friday, and Brad kind of showed me the ropes a little bit, and then we had a bunch of other people who play Rust jump on the server, and it was a lot of fun. I totally, after playing it for a couple hours, like I totally understand the appeal of it. We weren't really doing anything too serious. I think I'll probably actually like start building some stuff up once they wipe the servers and do the new XP system, which is coming out on Thursday of this next week. But obviously, so when I came in, I got it looked at my Steam ID, and Rust decided that I am a woman, and I have A cups, and I have very wide childbearing hips. Those were basically what
Wait,
Rust.
does it generate different breast sizes?
Yeah, like
and dick sizes.
Too. Yeah, and it's totally random. I mean, it's attached to your Steam ID, and you can't change it at all. So you're stuck with whatever you get, which I was totally fine with. But the game, it's absolutely silly. Like once we had a whole group of people meeting up and doing stuff together, I feel like, Brad, it's the best way to describe it is like if actual anarchy, if we went back to kind of like the Stone Age or whatever, I feel like Rust is how it would actually play out. You know what I mean? Like with people random people just being killed.
I agree too.
People hoarding things, some nice people along the way, but I mean, it definitely, the whole thing just feels like an apocalypse scenario. But it's hilarious. It's with the stuff that happens.
It is hilarious. I think it's something you have to play with friends, and then I don't know, just from like us playing alone.
Yeah.
Like we just met up with people, and then all of us just naked went into some poor kid's house.
Yeah, we started trying to break into his house, which we then realized he had actually come out of his house, and he was actually. Are you the one that ended up shooting him in the head, Brad? When we realized that he's like, guys, that's my house, and then Brad just executed him. But anyway, a lot of that stuff kind of happened. A lot of funny moments, like there's a guitar in the game that you can get as an item, and literally people just run around strumming the guitar, and it's just so obnoxious. People like the different outfits and stuff that people have. It's just, I mean, it's totally, I don't really know how, I've never really experienced anything like it. I mean, it's definitely like the survival kind of game, but it's also just, it's hard to take seriously a lot of times too. I know people do take it very seriously, and that there's clans and all that kind of stuff,
so,
but at least the kind of Rust that I was playing in a large group, it was just a good time, and no one was taking it all that seriously, but I think maybe that'll change in the future. But like I don't know, it's on the Unity engine, and there were some, I don't know, I was getting a few.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid. It looks pretty solid overall. The genitals are rendered very well. But I was getting, so I guess maybe it was more the server. We had a little bit of lag here and there overall. That was probably server based, but overall, I definitely want to give it more time. It was on Steam sale for $9.99, I think. So I think that was like definitely. I guess you can still get it for $9.99 up until tomorrow. Does the sale go through tomorrow, or does it end on the 4th?
I think it goes through
tomorrow. Okay, so you still got time. So yeah, would definitely recommend it. I'm looking forward to playing more and doing actually crafting a proper base and actually building weapons up and having. Basically the most I did was I tried to collect wood to build our new base at night, and I was assassinated by a guy wearing some kind of really creepy mask, and he stole my 4,000 pieces of wood that I had, and that was it for me actually trying to craft anything. I was like, all right, fuck this, I'm just gonna run around and try to kill people with rocks. But it was a good time. It was a good time, and obviously CS as per usual. So not much to say on that. CS is actually a pretty dumb fucking game right now, and I won't really go into all the reasons, but it all goes back to the CS:GO devs and Valve just really not caring about what they do to the game, or what happens when they release a patch that full of stuff that we never needed. So one of the more recent additions is the low ammo sound that happens on guns now, because this is a game that really requires, it's basically a sim. So when you get down to I think it's 10 bullets, maybe 11. I'm not 100% sure on that number. Your gun makes an insanely loud clicking noise that everybody can hear, and it happens on every single gun, I guess, except maybe all the rifles. I don't think it happens on the op. So while there's real problems like basically everybody running around and getting jump shots whenever they want, Valve has decided to change all the shotgun sounds and add that. So it's really solid. So anyway. The kind of we had talked about when Valve released the R8 many months ago, and that was a whole shitstorm where they released that overpowered weapon, and they kind of went this whole we're so sorry, we're going to communicate more with the community, and none of that has happened. So I still play it, I still enjoy it. On my good moments and on my horrible moments, I wonder why I'm doing it. So sorry, I don't know why. I feel like I'm on the. I feel like I'm in therapy right now, guys. I didn't mean to let all that out, but I'll stop now.
You really feel.
Yeah. So as far as announcements go, there is no community night this week, but there is an article, Brad, up on the website about Lawbreakers. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah. So one of the community members, anybody can contribute if you'd like, but somebody went to kbmod.com/contribute or community, and they submitted an article, and we usually publish them if you meet all the requirements. But somebody looked at Lawbreakers. So if since Nick couldn't tell us about it, you could just go to our website and read the article there and check out what he had.
Want me to tell you about it?
I mean, I'd like to hear about it.
It's a game by Cliff B.
Exactly.
You shoot like an Unreal.
You got the grappling hook.
And there's a gravity, and then sometimes there's a lesser gravity.
Is this Bill Cosby reviewing Lawbreakers? Holy shit. Lesser gravity. Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely check out that article. That is up on the website. So, yes. But yeah, remember, no community night happening this week. So, if you were looking forward to that, sorry. I think probably we'll resume the week after. So, all right, let's jump into some news here. And the first thing we're going to talk about is an issue that we've discussed in this podcast before, and something that's not really new to anybody that uses a computer to game, or that uses a computer very often. Windows 10 is very pushy about wanting to be on your PC and upgrade from whatever OS that you're using, whether it be 7 or 8. And there's actually, Microsoft lost a lawsuit recently, I think to the tune of $10,000, to a woman who basically proved that she had lost productivity because of Windows 10 basically forcing itself onto her system. So, and this is not a new criticism. And this article is really interesting. It was in the Seattle Times, but it basically talks about, it actually quotes some people that actually used to work at Microsoft and guys that actually used to work on Windows Update, and kind of the idea that, Microsoft is essentially abusing users' trust, especially in Windows Update, when it comes to Windows 10 and upgrading the OS. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if any more lawsuits. Microsoft claims in this article that the reason that they actually settled was that they just didn't want to have any more. They wanted it to be over and didn't want to continue with litigation. So I don't know, Brad. What are your thoughts?
Well, just so everybody knows, you will probably get new notifications, by the way.
Yes.
If you are tired of getting notifications for upgrading, you can now choose to decline the offer, and that will keep notifications from showing up. Now, the negative is, after, I think it's July 29th, it will cost you $120 if you want to upgrade. So just keep that in mind. Either just press that damn button or decline. It's up to you. But
yeah,
I mean, I tried to, and it and it just restarted. Said couldn't do it, and it that was it. That was the extent of that. So it was okay, I'll just decline. So
this is also really interesting. So Paul Thurrott in this article talks about the fact that there was a recent pop-up in one of the updates for the Windows 10 prompt, and it's to ask users if you're ready to upgrade to Windows 10. The prompt is an actual X, which, you know, everybody knows if you use Microsoft OS, X means close and cancel. However, Windows Update used this, at least this specific prompt. It's interpreted by the update tool as an agreement to go ahead with the install. I mean,
Wow.
How is that? I mean, and his quote is, "The violation of trust here is almost indescribable." Like, that's just like super scummy. And basically a lot of it's kind of focusing on the non-tech savvy people, right? Like, so for us that don't want to upgrade, you know, we have ways around it, and even getting rid of the pop-up to a certain extent. But like for people that don't really know what they're doing, like, you basically can't avoid Windows 10.
Well,
and that
well,
shit,
for
like,
somebody like the lady that sued for damages, you know, it's like, that's a lot of time. If something like Microsoft's not really known for perfect upgrades. I mean, there's so many different computers, drivers, everything like that. Sorry, I don't know if you heard
somebody breaking into your house, Brad. Are you okay?
but like this costs a lot of money and time for some people because they don't really know what to do, and this doesn't always go according to plan. So it is kind of a major, you know, it is kind of a trust issue. But I can see where Microsoft's coming from as well, because it's also expensive to develop for, you know, multiple OSs and things like that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts,
this
Katie?
just seems lately like I've heard a long time ago. I just like heard the assumption that Windows 10 was terrible. But the more I hear about it, the more I think like it doesn't seem that bad. And for like, isn't there going to be like new cards and like the new DirectX is only going to be for Windows 10?
Mhm.
Like stuff like that is going
That's
to make me
correct.
like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to get Windows 10. This free upgrade. But
Yeah, I don't even
Been
know.
forced.
Like, for me, it's not even the argument that I don't doubt, especially since I tried way long ago, and I had all kinds of issues in conflicts with like OBS and just stuff not working properly. So I rolled back, which was fine. But it's not even that the fact that Windows 10 is like terrible or anything like that. It's just how pushy that they're being. And also, like you said, like the shit, like, you know, making a prompt where the X button actually has your update software proceed as going like, okay, yeah, they hit X, let's go. Like that's just totally like that. I mean, that is truly to get people to trick them into upgrading. How else could you look at that kind of stuff? And that's more the issue. But I agree with you, Brad, too. Like, they obviously want to get as many people on this as possible, and so they can troubleshoot and, you know, make it better. But I don't know. It's kind of me. Part of me was kind of glad that woman won her lawsuit. I don't know. Partially because she's going to split some of the money with her. I know her personally, but that is not true. All right, let's move on to Apple, who are trying to patent a technology to block your phone camera from recording in certain places, especially at concerts and you know, maybe stuff where you're not supposed to be recording. And they basically applied for a patent, and this is an article from CNN, but basically the idea is that they can use
the great new app.
oh, sorry. Why does this thing start playing? It's basically an infrared signal that can be fired in places where video recording is prohibited. Basically, the phone picks up the signal, and it either alters what's shown on the screen, which is interesting, or it shuts down the video feature completely on your phone.
Yeah, with the watermark, you know, so they could through a signal put a watermark on your video pictures.
Exactly. There was a lot. I mean, since seeing this article come out, there was a lot of uproar online about it. Not so much and it seemed, at least from the stuff that I was reading, that was pretty split. Because part of me is, I mean, I've complained about this before. When you watch people at sporting events or at concerts, they're literally recording or watching through their phone the entire fucking time and not actually paying any attention. You know what I mean? Or like not actually watching what's happening in front of them. So I totally understand that, even beyond like the copyright issues or things where you're not supposed to be recording. So like a part of me, like in that sense, is like, that's kind of cool. But then you have to also go, like with any technology, and think about how it's going to be abused. And to me, again, it's not like this shouldn't exist because it can be abused, because lots of technology can be abused. But I can absolutely see something like this.
There's tons of room.
Tons of rooms. Yeah, exactly. And then under the guise of just being like, well, this is just our policy, and and also like, if you think about a lot of the stuff that has been captured, whether it's God forbid, like terrorist attacks or whatever else, at stuff like concerts and stuff like that. I'm not saying that that's a reason, to say that people should be allowed to record, but you're also dealing with the fact that because we do live in a time period where people are constantly on their phones and recording, you're potentially losing leads and stuff like that if there is if there is something like that goes down. That was another comment that I thought was really interesting, for like investigation and stuff like that. So I don't know. What are your guys thoughts?
It's like Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I mean,
This is exactly like Watch Dogs.
we're getting there, dude. Maybe this is all a promo for Watch Dogs 2. What if they're not even?
Yeah, Apple and Ubisoft are doing a collab.
Dude,
for
they
sure.
are, and it redirects to the Watch Dogs 2 website when you
no.
go to
Yeah.
when you go to a venue and try to record. Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of taking people's ability away.
Yeah,
Because you can't trust people. Like, if you're at a museum and stuff, when there's like a sign that says no photography,
sure.
people take their cameras out all the time anyway. So it's like,
Well, that almost makes it annoying, at museums or something when you're just trying to look at something and there's a dude with this fucking iPad, and he's got
Yeah.
it just right in front of everybody's face. Like, dude, your camera's not any good on that thing. Put it away. Like, you're not doing anyone any favors. You're not gonna want to show it to anybody. It's gonna look horrible.
Sure.
Like, just stop. But
look at this picture I took of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah. Oh god.
But I don't know. Like, I can see how it'd be nice for theaters. Like, people record movies all the time
Oh
now
yeah, that
in
would
theaters.
solve a lot of issues.
Sure.
I mean, you could just use another camera, but
Right.
Yeah.
But like a phone's so discreet now, so
yeah.
I don't know. There is a big problem, I think, as far as press goes, or like just censorship in general, like where maybe something needs to be shown, and recorded, but clearly something could be used against that with like this kind of technology, and the censorship can be dangerous.
Right. Katie, any thoughts?
I mean, it'll stop all the iPhones, but I mean, people are gonna find ways to record stuff,
True.
like anyways. So
Yeah.
I don't see how much work this is really gonna do.
Can I be honest here? I was really hoping, being on the podcast again, that the news would be a little bit fucking juicier than it is.
Juicier? We can't control the news week.
Wow.
What do you want? Like, what do you want us to talk about Keemstar? I mean, we can do that.
Talk about something exciting, something that gets the blood flowing.
This doesn't get your blood flowing? The potential
No.
for the
Something's
government
coming
to
up like that.
abuse this? Oh yeah, it's
I'm
coming.
flaccid.
Oh, it's coming. Okay. Well, you
What?
you
What
asked.
do
Well,
we
it
got?
got moved to kick
I'm looking.
hits.
I'm
I don't
looking at
know.
the spoilers
Okay,
in
Brad.
here. Everything in this section is keeping me relatively soft.
This Orion piece is definitely not a quick hits,
Oh,
although it was moved.
Oh, you're talking about Orion. I'm talking about.
I'm
this
calling out Brad.
I'm talking about this next piece of news right here. So
This
so Sony, this is interesting. This has played out over the last 6 days, but Sony has banned a PSN user. His account was called iJihad, and they banned it on grounds that it was offensive. Okay, so you initially look at that and you go, okay, well, they can do whatever they want, and sure, they can. But he took to, of all places, can you believe it, Reddit, to discuss the situation. And his name is actually Jihad. He's 26 years old, and his name was Jihad. And he said, before you hate on me, please remember 26 years ago, this shit was not like this. I have been named based on the true non-religious meaning of the word, which is struggling and putting an effort in doing something noble, good, and valued, which actually is what jihad means. So he says, long story short, we're in 2016. And basically he's talking about he's had this account for, I think, 7+ years. And he basically all of a sudden just got a permanent ban email stating he wasn't sure why he was banned. It literally said the reason was, it said stating reason, ban reason in parentheses. And ban reason. That's why he was nuked. And so he was really confused. So he tried to like contact social media and a couple emails, and they basically said that his name was offensive because in 2016, I guess jihad, is offensive, and they offered that he could change his name, and I guess he agreed to do that. So he waited for a couple of days, didn't hear anything, and then suddenly another guy in the company at Sony reviewed the ticket and decided that he didn't like the name, the Jihad that he had in the first place, and then said that it was truly offensive, and he revoked the solution to even let him change his name. Someone at Sony got offended all over again, and they were like, "Oh no, we can change your name," and they were like, "Nope, you're permanently banned," which is fucking insane to me. But so anyway, he talked about this was 6 days ago when he originally posted, and so there's been a lot of edits kind of talking about how this situation has played out. And basically what happened since then is obviously this blew up. Couple companies did, or big websites did articles on it. And it was a total shitstorm, though. It kind of went back and forth. Like, he ended up talking with Sony in the UK, like their social media, and they sent him another email saying that the name was offensive and offended gamers all over. They said blanket, it offends gamers everywhere, which I guess they're speaking for me. I have a PSN. I didn't realize I was offended by his name.
Just imagine if you were playing Uncharted 4 and you were killed by iJihad.
Yeah.
Just imagine the rage.
I guess
you should be
so.
thankful.
So he even did stuff like he posted his, just to prove, because people were like, bullshit, that's not your name. He posted his passport photo with his name like prove, just to like really prove that he's like not making up a story. And so basically it all ended up working out to the fact that they did give him a new alias after kind of like 6 days of back and forth. And the sad thing, though, is that he basically loses all of his trophies. There's going to be syncing issues. All his friends are gone.
Oh no.
So,
as someone who collects trophies.
Yeah,
that hurts.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a big part of the reason that he didn't want to lose his account, right? Like if you have, like if all that stuff's disappearing, he was pretty disappointed. So I guess I have to ask, first of all, is this? I mean, again, Sony can do whatever they want, and I understand they want to be sensitive and all that kind of stuff. And I guess the name iJihad at face value is offensive, but like, what do you think? Do you think this is SJW gone amok a little bit here, as far or not SJW? I don't want to say that, but the idea that like even that word now is offensive, and you can't it shouldn't be on the platform. Like,
I think it's there are far worse things you can put as your PlayStation handle.
Yeah.
And there are that probably have gone unnoticed. And you ban iJihad.
Right. So your argument is that there's probably other offensive names. Yeah. That was
not that bad.
Mike in the chat is raising a good point. In Sony's defense, using the name Hitler may not necessarily be offensive, but it would raise eyebrows. And that's what people brought up the name Adolf on the Reddit thread. They were like, I mean, think about being born, having the name Adolf before Adolf Hitler came along, and then after, right? I mean, kind of ruins it for a lot of people. So, I mean, I guess I understand.
Really fucked up that facial hair too. That's like an unusable mustache shape.
He really did.
Yeah.
Unless you're Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
It's kind of good though. You associate that really bad facial hair with this really bad person, and you kind of, I feel like a lot of evil people in this world need to have bad, styles, so they just kind of get, written out. If you, am I making any sense?
Yeah. I mean, I understand. I do understand like where Sony's coming from, and I'm sure that they couldn't have known. They probably aren't assuming that this guy's name is actually Jihad. Like I'm sure that probably wasn't their first thought. They probably just thought that he was just trying to be it for the sake of being offensive. But again, I understand what the context that word has taken on in the current climate, but it isn't inherently a word. I don't know. Like, part of me is like the word, like he described the meaning, the reason that he was named Jihad, right? The reason his parents gave him the name was because of what struggling and putting in effort to do something noble. Like, so just because the word has been taken and used in the form of a lot of terrorism that we're familiar with, I don't know. And even again, I get Sony's like a private company; they can do whatever they want. But to me, I think
it just shows where their priorities are. Because if you look at Steam or Valve, like there are some fucked up names on there, like in pictures.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's kind of what KD was saying too. Like, are you looking the other way for a lot of other shit that's going on? You're just like looking for anything that's related to that could be related or something for like what someone would assume was a terrorist. You know what I was thinking the other day too? I was thinking about like, so this shit's going on. Meanwhile, right, with like Jihad. Meanwhile, Counter-Strike Global Offensive is on Turner Broadcast Network, and you literally play as terrorists. And so I was just thinking about this, and I'm not trying to like get people to get up a shitstorm and get angry about Counter-Strike, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, because it's a game. But I'm thinking, with all these terrorist attacks and everything going on, like a guy named Jihad on Sony gets banned. Meanwhile, like nobody seems to be really caring that Counter-Strike is on TBS on basic cable. You know what I mean? Where you literally plant a bomb and blow up. Like, just think about that. I was literally watching it, and I was like, how is there no outrage? Like, I'm glad that we're at this point. Maybe I feel like there will be. Like, I feel like it just hasn't had the right politician decide to pick it up again.
Yeah,
but
that's going to come up someday.
What
are we looking at in this game? A group of presumably, man.
No, I mean, I honestly, I really did kind of think about that, and I was like, I haven't heard anybody really I guess because it's on cable, maybe that's part of it too. It's not like, but I don't know. So whatever. What do I know? But I think to me this is a little bit over the top. But Sony,
yeah, you're the only smart one. The press is just all idiots.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, Katie, talk about this juicy story. You want to talk about this?
All right, so this was not originally on the news, but I've decided to pick this up, and I'm going to go into full detail. Orion Dino Beatdown. We all know the game.
Mm-hmm.
The developers, Trek Industries, have gone under a lot of drama in the past week or two.
Yes.
And I'm going to fully paint the picture. So,
do it.
After Orion Dino Beatdown, aka Orion Dino Horde, aka Orion Prelude, they create a second game called Guardians of Orion, which was a top-down. It was basically the exact same thing. It was another co-op space dinosaur shooter, but it was top-down instead of FPS. It was called Guardians of Orion. It was $10, which I bought. And then later on, it was renamed to the Orion Project, which was a failed Kickstarter that was a completely different game that didn't come out. And so they made that come out, and then they took the isometric view and just made it a different kind of mode in the game. They're like, okay, well, you can still play Guardians of Orion. It's just called this because, like, oh, we released that game, guys. We totally made it. And then the price got reduced down to $1. And for a second time, the name was changed again, and now it's just known as Orion. And on the summer sale, it's available for only 50 cents currently. And that's where we stand now. So, Orion
Because Orion is such a strong brand that really reduce it down to the single word.
Exactly. If you're a...
Lots of brand loyalty. I'm really loyal to this series.
Yeah, it's the Orion experience, but they're gonna make another fucking dinosaur space shooter again next year. But yeah. So Orion gets DMCA'd by Activision for stealing the gun sets or the gun or assets. I mean, my bad. From Call of Duty. And the devs protest this as being bullied by some big developer. And they start like a change.org to cancel the DMCA, and they post comparisons of some of the guns that were not the guns in question, because it was never really explained which ones were the offenders. But then, thanks to the internet, well, this also happened during like the summer sale, and it no doubt affected like the sales of the game. And so the developers started a GoFundMe to support themselves, like help us make back the money that we're missing out on. Help support this indie developer. And so, yeah, you can see the shitstorm starting to form. It turns out the internet comes together and finds out these blatant ripoffs of like the M8 from Black Ops 3 being straight up taken out.
Sure.
All these different parts of guns from Black Ops 3 being pieced together and make like a new gun. And they like straight up taken from COD. And so the lead developer claims that it wasn't his responsibility to check the guns because he was busy with other things like the world design and all that stuff. And he says that the artist was responsible. And if you go on like the Steam news for the game, he posted like the Skype logs of talking to the artist and how when he was like, hey, listen, these assets are straight up taken out of Call of Duty. What the fuck? He just didn't reply until he's like, hey, sorry this had to happen. I'll see you later. And then just fucking quit. And so, straight up. Jesus. And so on Reddit, I didn't see like exactly upon Reddit, but I feel like he lashed out. And then he started claiming that he was hacked and that someone from Russia was posting as him. But then it was like shown that the IP was a local IP, like he did some kind of like, I don't know what the work is, but it was actually just him under a different IP.
I fucking can't.
And also, the GoFundMe Their goal was $500. They immediately receive a $500 donation from Trek Industries, which is the devs. And when they were asked about it, they said, "Oh, we believe in ourselves." So
What's the
basically,
point of the Kickstarter?
what? Free money. It's like, hey, what if we don't make this goal? You know, anybody that donates after this, that's just free money for us. So countless reports get filed.
Jesus.
And so as it stands now, if you go to the GoFundMe, it says the description says they won't let me shut down the campaign. Don't donate. And it says 0 USD raised by 0 backers. He refunded all of the donations because it was reported countless times. But eventually, now as it stands, Orion is back on Steam. The gun models are different, and hopefully we can have a pint and this will all blow over. But I'm fucking done with this company. I mean,
You're done with the
now
company?
I'm done. Listen,
okay,
listen. It's tough for me too, because when I did the charity streams for Extra Life, both years I did it, I got $100 donations from the devs for this.
Okay.
And I got like 30 keys to get out for the first one, and so they're really good to me. But when they do shit like this, I'm thinking, you know, I just don't know if I can support them anymore.
Yeah,
It's just so sketchy. And, you know, you can't just believe it's coincidence after
Do
coincidence.
you want me to ruin any possible relationship you could have with this developer, right? Because I can end it right now.
I think I just did, but
Because I'll
Go
just
for
say
it.
this. Is it Trek Industries?
yes.
This is just, I want this to be my personal message to Trek Industries. You are fucking garbage at making video games. Stop!
Yep. There it is. But yeah, that was just a massive the worst kind of drama is the indie dev drama, but it's also very entertaining. And I just thought the world should know what happened with Orion.
wow, that was good. That was
I just bought this shit today.
Yeah, you tweeted at me saying that you were downloading it, and I'm like, oh
oh
god,
my god.
why? And okay, another thing too, they announced that it's going free to play in about a month.
Oh wow.
So, but if you buy it before, you get the elite status and you get a skin that no one else will get. So, God, I don't think there's much hope left for this indie dev. God.
That was good. I'm glad you put that back in. That was really juicy. I forgot that you are literally the world's leading authority on Orion and the whole history. Honestly, Katie, you should write a book about. You know more about this than any person on the planet. I promise.
There is so much ass backwards stuff they've done where they promised things for games and then changed it. I don't think they believe in releasing games. I think they believe in like changing them and compromising and doing different things just to put stuff out there. It's so frustrating. It's so confusing for the consumer too.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to just making games one by one
Can't do that.
instead of just like, oh god, it sucks.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you for that breakdown. That was very interesting, and I'm glad to see that this was finally the last straw for you. And you, this is.
I'm out. I'm free.
But it doesn't mean
playing
you
the
won't ever
shitty
stop
games
you can't take off your historian hat when it comes to. I know you'll continue to follow the story as it develops. You know?
Oh, I will come back every week.
Okay.
As it goes further down the rabbit hole.
Good. That sounds good. Okay, let's jump into some quick hits. We just have 2 things here on this section, but I do want to talk about this because it doesn't really mean anything, and it could actually be a fucking total troll. Anything with Valve with the number 3 is pretty much pointless to talk about. But it is worth mentioning, I think, that Left 4 Dead 3 appeared in one of Valve's conceptual artist tutorials that he did. There was a folder that you basically could see his folder hierarchy, and you could see that there was a Left 4 Dead 3 folder in one of his, like I said, tutorials. And so people obviously are like, well, does that mean Left 4 Dead 3 is confirmed? Since then, he actually changed the screenshot that included the Left 4 Dead 3 folder. So, I mean, does that even mean anything either?
Well, this isn't the first time we've seen a Left 4 Dead, like Left 4 Dead 3 mentioned by like a Valve employee. So like, they a long time ago, it was probably a year or 2 ago, you know, Valve will occasionally do like tours of their office or something for guests that just come by. And somebody had taken a picture of like somebody doing actually like development on what was
Mhm.
titled like Left 4 Dead 3.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's definitely stuff in the works, because it's Valve, but
Yeah.
I don't think anything's really confirmed.
But I
Yeah.
don't mean like even something like this. Like I don't doubt that maybe they're working on something, but I mean we didn't doubt that they were working on we're continuing to work on Half-Life 2 DLC or Half-Life 3. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I don't. It doesn't mean just because they're working on it that it'll ever see the light of day. I feel like anymore at Valve. Like,
Right.
but yeah, it is interesting. So maybe we'll see something down the road. But to me, this is like even less of a story than like remember when everyone was convinced that Rockstar was gonna announce something about like Red Dead based on the. I mean, not that. And again, I don't doubt that Rockstar's probably working on something with Red Dead, but I don't know. It's just. But anyway, I thought we would just talk about it. So if you really like the Left 4 Dead franchise, I mean, Left 4 Dead is a great series of games. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
Oh
are
yeah,
great.
Left 4
So,
Dead 2.
maybe a little bit of hope that Valve will count to 3 with that series. But all right, and our final quick hit. I just wanted to get your guys' take on this because obviously Twitch has released. Well, I know where you stand on eating on stream in general, Nick, but Twitch has released a social eating category, which I think most of you, especially if you're watching the podcast live right now and are up on Twitch, know about this. But if you're listening to the podcast and don't maybe engage in this, you might say, like, what the fuck is social eating? And this actually stems from, I believe it's Korea, correct? Is that where it's really big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's called mukbang. I'm probably pronouncing it
I
incorrectly.
believe it's pronounced mukbang.
Mukbang.
Mukbang. It's mukbang.
Mukbang. That sounds like a bong you get at McDonald's, the McBong. Anyway,
Mukbang, oh my God.
is in your Happy Meal. But yeah, so and that's it happens in Korea, and people literally just watch. I guess they eat the meals with the person that's doing it, I think is the idea. And this was something that was previously banned on Twitch in the past, like explicitly that they said that they weren't going to support this. But now, obviously, adding social eating, they're kind of testing it out and seeing if that's something that people, at least in North America, not just North America, but I guess everywhere, because people stream from all over the world, would be interested in, and not just something that people in Korea enjoy. And it was met with a lot of mixed reactions. I'm not gonna lie. And it was also met with people just being fucking stupid. I know that there was a streamer who was doing like eating challenges and then vomited. I think a couple streamers on stream because of how disgusting and how much food they were putting in their mouths. And I saw Twitch has released a social eating FAQ, and it just basically kind of outlines like what the reason that they're doing this for and what not to do. And when they released this, I was reading the tweets of the people that were mad about the people that vomited on stream and got banned. And literally a lot of the comments were like, how can you enforce rules that weren't even in place when you first, released this category? And I'm like, there's literally no, like, common sense, I feel like, for a lot of people never enters the equation.
No.
So, like, yeah, if you eat so much or you eat gross shit and vomit on stream, that's probably, use your common sense. That's probably not what they're trying to foster here. But anyways, just people were so upset. It was really interesting. But personally, for me, I don't know if this is something that I went to the social eating category. I haven't seen anything yet that makes me go, oh, this is something I would really want to partake in or necessarily enjoy.
You've actually done this, Scott.
What, social eating?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. On Twitch?
On Twitch?
Yes.
So hosting a pizza party with your viewers.
Yes. Well, I wasn't a pizza party. I literally just ordered a pizza.
It was. No, you had all your viewers order the same pizza.
Yeah.
And then you all
I was ahead of my absolutely. I was ahead of my time.
You're a trendsetter.
And I did it. No, but I'm saying as far as like what I've seen other people doing with it. Like I was watching a girl eating ramen on her couch, just watching football.
Yeah, you were.
And I was just like, again, I guess for some people that might do it. But I guess my bigger question is, do you guys think this is something that's gonna take off now that it's allowed? Because it's definitely an experiment that they're.
I feel like it's already big in Korea on like whatever Korean websites. I feel like for an American audience, I don't foresee this being a big thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, not that there aren't Koreans on Twitch, but
yeah. Like even if I go to that category, hold on, I was going to go there right now.
Is there anybody in there right now?
Yeah,
like,
there's no like huge, like massive massive streams necessarily going on, but there was like I think let me go right there. There was like a
there
Korean
was a ton of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people doing it.
I can get down like where it's just people eating. I don't get it. But like when it's like a cooking show and
Sure.
then you eat, I like that's sort of.
That makes
Then
sense.
it's sort of a show rather
Right.
than just sitting in front of your table.
Yeah, and that's the way
being like,
that
I'm gonna eat $40 worth of food right now, guys.
Exactly. No, exactly. And that's the way that I was thinking about it as well. Like it makes sense. Or even like what you were saying, Brad, where I did the pizza party where it was like the idea was we were all going to order the same thing, but then talk about, because obviously we're ordering from different pizza places, like the differences, or like it was like the idea like, okay, in the UK, if you order this or try to get a similar pizza to me, what do they put on it? Like what's the, so I understand, like I agree. I understand that, but maybe just consuming meals for the sake of that without any other point. I don't know if I necessarily understand, but
I'm thinking like maybe who is this made for? Maybe someone's doing like a really long stream, and they're human. They have to eat. They have to eat meals to be healthy. So maybe the idea is you break the stream with some social eating, and keep engaging with the viewers while eating, and then jump back into it. So I could see it maybe that way. But I don't see anyone who's gonna like build an audience being primarily a social eating streamer. Like who's gonna watch this? I mean, I'm probably gonna try it. I'm gonna order a pizza and stream that shit.
sure.
But who's gonna watch this?
Yeah, I don't know. See, I say that, but I also realize that I probably, because it is in other parts of the world, it obviously is a big thing. But again, that could also be more cultural. Like it's just I don't know necessarily in North America.
Right.
If I see this taking
So
off.
overseas it
You're
was
right, you're
popular
right.
because a lot of some people, like younger individuals, it's becoming kind of an epidemic almost where they don't have anyone to eat with, so they
Exactly.
or they keep to themselves on purpose, and then they eat with, they social eat online. So.
Right. And exactly, and for that, I guess that kind of frames as to like why, like, so there's an actual need. People want to have that human connection of eating a meal with somebody, hence its popularity, and I understand that. And I mean, it's not to say there are not a lot of people that don't socially interact in America or North America as well, but I don't know. So maybe we're just not ready for it, or I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But I agree too, Katie, because I was just thinking like, is there going to be a streamer that basically focuses himself around this category, like and get big off of it? And I'm not willing to say that there won't be somebody. I think somebody's going to come in and probably do what you're saying, like do it really right, where they'll cook a full meal or do something really elaborate and be really talented and have high production value, right? Almost like a cooking show. And then really discuss it with the audience and stuff like that, and maybe even do a call-in show. Did other people? I don't know. Like I think.
But that at the same time, and in terms of service, it says you're not streaming yourself cooking the food. We have a category for that.
Well, yes.
It's like
you would jump between categories. You would
Yeah.
then change the social eating once you're eating it. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not willing to say that I think like it's not going to be something that somebody couldn't use to get pretty popular off of. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So Nikon saying that this is one step towards Twitch doing it like towards a 24/7 streamer kind of idea, which I mean, we've already kind of seen some of that.
social sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think
Streamer house, right?
Streamer house.
They-
Yeah, I mean they already kind of do that.
Before we ever get to that point, I just want to ask people, not like asking anybody here specifically, but do you really want to be the person that forces the Big Brother reality TV life on yourself alone?
on
Because
yourself.
that's what that is.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
you're
It
just
kind of is, yeah.
you are volunteering to be the star of your own lonely reality TV show.
Yeah. No, I know, but I really
Become
feel
a
like
full-time streamer today. It's the best career out here.
like when I look at a lot of this stuff and I look at a lot of the channels that I sometimes scratch my head and I go, why is not necessarily why is this channel popular, but what is it that makes people so hungry for the content of this channel? And I look at it and it's the big yeah, sure. No, I mean I'm not calling anybody out in particular, but it is, and I look at it and it is Big Brother like stuff. It's talking about, it's like relationship shit. It's drama. It's like calling up lost loves and then everybody interacting. So it's like, it is like the Big Brother kind of idea, but with the interaction that you wouldn't have watching it on TV. And a lot of these channels that, especially like what people would say like are almost drama channels where there's always drama happening, that's basically the show. Like the game is not at all the focal point. It's about, you know, what's happening between this person and this person, and this person said that, and they started drama with that. And that's huge. I mean, there's a lot of channels on Twitch that are really big kind of off of that idea. Not that they don't play Hearthstone or whatever else, but so I think this is another, like, this is, like you said, another step towards that. And I think it's just a matter of time because, you know, Twitch has been experimenting with lots of different categories for a long time now. And I think there's clearly, like, it's easy to dismiss it, but I think there's clearly, like, a hunger for it. I'm not necessarily arguing that the hunger for it means the content is any good, necessarily, but there is definitely there's people willing to watch, and I feel like it's a lot of times younger people. But
could you imagine trying to be a full-time streamer for this? Like, you would just have to eat for 8 hours straight.
Oh, dude, like social eating? Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. I can't imagine being in this category for 8 hours.
My subscribers control my diet.
No, I mean, you say that, but
400 subs, I'll get Red Lobster.
Red Lobster at 400.
Why?
Oh, man, that's funny. But yeah, there's lots of possibilities, so I don't know. We're going to see. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on.
I find it funny that the timeline of Twitch, well, it originates from Justin TV, which was just general broadcasting.
But
and they were like, we need to make it specific, gaming specific.
Right.
And now they're trying to like broaden it again.
Exactly. No, it really, I mean,
Feels
multiple
like
people have commented on this, but I really do feel like it's kind of going back towards Justin TV 100%. I agree with that. And if you want to watch somebody, there's vegan mukbang and league happening right now in the category for somebody. So
I would rather fucking die.
Just saying. If you want to check that out. But all right. So those were the two quick hits that we had. So Katie, then let's jump to the new releases. I don't think you only put 2 this week, but go ahead and
only 2.
talk about that.
Steam indie games didn't really impress aside from these 2 this week. But first up, we have a game called Fury, spelled F-U-R-I, not to be pronounced as furry. That's probably
How do you know?
another.
How do
I'm
you
not
know
sure.
it's not to be pronounced that way?
I could be wrong. There is a rabbit in this game, so
Yeah,
could be wrong.
definitely a
This
furry
game. Oh, for sure. This game looks like my shit. This game looks like
It's a bullet hell game. Oh shit.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
bullet
this is
hell.
fucking-
It's
This is
It's an
Weeaboo
action-
City.
Oh yeah, for sure. The only description is the jailer is the key. Kill him and you'll be free. Boom.
Wow.
It's simple. Or actually, there's more. Never mind. It says you were captured. Look at what they've done to you. The jailer is the key. Kill him, you'll be free. Fight your way free in this ultra-responsive, fast-paced sword fighting and dual-stick shooting game. That sentence alone, I'm dropping 60 on it. But it is going to be free. No, it's not going to be 60. I don't know about. It's going to be on PC, released on July 5th. But it's actually one of the free games for PlayStation Plus for PS4 owners. So that'll be free if you can pick that up. Oh, that's why I'll be playing it. But yeah, that comes out on the 5th. It looks super stylish, super fast-paced, and I want it. I want it now. But yeah, keep an eye for that. No word on the price on PC yet, at least not on Steam anyways.
Art style looks cool. I'll say it. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's kind of cool looking. It almost, you know what, the fourth or the second screenshot on there almost reminds me of Journey a little bit.
let me see.
Just because of the depth.
Yeah, it reminds you of Journey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that.
What do you have to say about Journey, Scott?
A game I never played, but I've seen that you just run around in the desert trying to make friends. So
That's not all you do.
that's what it looks like.
I still
It's
need
a
to
transcendental experience in virtual reality.
Jesus Christ. All right.
But yeah, next up is the long-awaited second game from the Play Dead studio, the same people that made Limbo. I think this might have come out
really
on
want-
Xbox.
I really want to play this game.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
heard
oh, yeah.
so many
I
good
think this
things
already
from
came on Xbox One because I saw Hutch playing it on his channel.
Mhm.
But it's called Inside. It's the same. It looks very, very similar in premise, somewhat to Limbo, although it looks more modern, but with like a bigger budget, I'd say. And it's the little thing like this that appeals to me. It's that the description is only one sentence, very, very vague. Like Limbo, the only description you got about the game going into it was uncertain of his sister's fate, a boy enters limbo, and like that's all you had to go with. This one says Hunted and alone, a boy finds himself drawn into the center of a dark project, and the gameplay is looking really solid. It looks pretty, very, very similar in gameplay to Limbo. It's still side-scrolling, physics puzzles primarily, but who knows what it's gonna evolve to, like Limbo did. It's got pretty strong reviews so far. It's got a 10 out of 10 from IGN,
Yeah.
9.5 from Polygon. That's coming out on the 7th of July. It's going to be $19.99. That looks very, very interesting. I want to play it. But yeah, that's going to do it for the new releases this week. Unfortunately, a shorter segment than normal that I'd like to.
Yeah. Well, 2 quality or possibly quality games. The first one looking very weeaboo-esque, but the second one definitely looking quality.
We'll see.
All right, let's get
The
into
second
our...
one's for goth weebs.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. All right, jump into viewer questions. Our first one comes from Darkwing02 on Twitter, and he asks us, if you could choose to specialize in speedrunning a single game well enough to participate in SGDQ or AGDQ, which would it be?
Orion Dino Beatdown.
I knew you were going to say that. It's a good answer, though.
Uh,
Well,
I
you
wanna
can't.
get to
Well, you
10th
can't
prestige
speedrun that game,
in
right? Because
COD
it's just
4.
open world, right? Like you can't complete it.
No, Dino Beatdown was like there were 10 rounds and like a survival thing, so
That's
you
right.
probably kill the rounds
Oh,
as fast
okay.
as you can.
Okay.
But
God.
what are you gonna say, Brad?
I said I would want to speed run getting to 10th prestige in COD 4.
Oh my god,
Good
like
lord.
a month-long
Like a
speedrun.
race?
A few weeks.
No, don't fade it. A race to prestige?
Oh my god.
I would like to learn how to speedrun Halo at some point.
Hmm.
That'd be fun.
Oh yeah,
Those runs are always super fun to watch. I like watching the Halo
I mean, I'm
runs.
already world-class speedrunner at Mirror's Edge 1, so I mean, I don't need to
Yeah.
really say that one.
Yeah. I think I watched it's Elias. He's a streamer that does Dark Souls speedruns a lot, and the runs for the first game and Bloodborne have always looked really, really good. If not like very RNG dependent, which is like how random like something is. But yeah, Dark Souls, I feel like I could speedrun that, like just picking it up. But that's something I'd love to like get good at because I've watched like so many runs of it. I know like the routes and everything. But yeah, I'd love to like get good at that. Maybe like one of the Sonics, maybe Sonic Adventure 2. Be
Oh,
fun.
that would be good, actually.
Mine's maybe not one you would expect, but Kane and Lynch 2 Dead Men.
Oh,
100%. Love to speedrun that. Just so people could go, why? God, why? Because that game is fucking terrible.
if you keep on the shaking camera, then you actually go faster.
Yes. Oh God, that vomit-inducing camera. Yeah, that you can. We did find out eventually you could turn off when Shem and I played it, but I actually got to look. I don't know if any of the Kane and Lynch games have been done. I'm sure they have. I haven't thought to look for them though, but I'm gonna have to watch for that. Okay, good question by Darkwing. Thank you, my friend. Crazed547 on Twitter ask us, have you ever got hooked on getting achievements, and did it matter if they were achievements for Xbox or Steam or PlayStation trophies?
I only cared about the Xbox ones for a little while.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never
really.
Yeah, I never had an achievement.
Steam ones are
fetish.
fucking worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like your Steam level, and like the trading cards. Don't you like when you make the badges? Doesn't your level go up? Or
Yeah.
yeah, that I might do, but I don't really see other people's levels that often. However, on PS4, something about getting trophies and leveling up on there, like, compels me to play games, even though I understand that it's entirely pointless. But it feels like it solidifies me as a gamer. So.
Okay. Well, like I know, again, Sark's not here to answer, but Sark, notorious for 100%ing and getting all achievements on a bunch of games. Not as much anymore because he plays on PC a bunch, but I remember I never had that like completionist idea. For me, a lot of like gaming was always, especially games that are like really story driven and stuff like that. I even open world stuff like GTA, trying to get a certain trophy or an achievement and doing the same thing over and over and over again. I guess I can see playing through the game and then doing it again and going through that grind, but playing through it the first time to me just like totally kills my momentum in games like that. Where like, so that's what I would find like when I would try to get a really hard achievement and I would just do it over and over. I would eventually like lose interest because I'd be so focused on getting this one thing and then I maybe wouldn't even finish the game. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
So that like
Changing the way you play the game based
Yeah.
around achievements can sort of take the fun away from it.
Exactly. So,
But I feel like
that's
at the
why I
same
don't like it.
time, it can also like compel you. Like Rogue
Yeah.
Legacy.
I mean,
There was,
there are good and bad achievements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's some optional bosses in Rogue Legacy that are just insanely difficult to beat. And when you look at the trophies on PS4, it tells you like the percentage of people who have played the game and who have gotten the achievement. And it's like, man, I want to be one of the 0.04%, you know?
I just remember the orange box where it was 100 and they were all worth 5 points
Wow.
for all 1,000. And they were all like varying difficulties too. Like the Gnome Chomsky achievement, bringing the gnome through episode 2
Oh,
of
yeah.
Half-Life 2.
That was only 5?
That was 5 points.
Wow.
Versus even something like I think there was probably one for like using the like throwing a saw blade or something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Gotcha.
Frustrating. I
So-
think my friend won 100% of that too, which is
So Dex
disgusting.
Dexter actually did me a favor and looked up if anybody has ever run Kane and Lynch Dead Men, and it happened last year, and is only one person that has done that, and it was 1 hour and 53 minutes on the Xbox 360. So that sounds like that game is wide open to have some records broken.
That's attainable. Yeah.
Holy
you can,
shit! Under
can
like
grind that out.
under 2 hours. Oh, man, that's exciting. Sorry, Brad. Did you go with what you would speed run? Did I totally blank?
Yeah, 10th Prestige. COD
Oh,
4.
okay. No,
Oh,
a real
okay.
answer. You cuck. Give me a real answer.
Okay, I actually really want to do. I remember when I used to be into Gran Turismo on the PlayStation, and some of those guys can do crazy just track times. That's the kind of shit I'd want to get into. But
I remember.
that's-
Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah, racing games too. That's a solid one.
yeah. Okay. Good
that's about
answers.
it. No.
All right. All right. So this next, this next, it's not really a question. Well, it is a question, but it also includes some really cool information from Justin Rend, or Rendy. Would you say Rendy? I don't know. I don't.
I think Rend.
Rend. Okay, cool. Anyway, Justin emailed us, and this is what he said. This is really cool. He said, I want to thank the KBMOD podcast members, from the old ones to the newest, for creating this community. I've been listening to the cast since it started, and at first I listened for the memes, dick jokes, never forget Alex's Dr. Ivory, and the Twitter questions. I wasn't a PC gamer then, but this podcast got me interested in more than just games and a platform. It made me want to get into the industry, and KBMOD has provided chances for newcomers like myself to do so. Tired of my first job straight out of college, I wrote articles for KBMOD's community submission program on topics that I was interested in and knowledgeable about. It was those articles that helped me land my dream job in the gaming industry, to work at a gaming PR agency in San Francisco, which I'm starting this Tuesday.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit. Congrats, man.
Fuck yeah.
I have to thank Blacklight Attack for even mentioning the company, Triple Point PR, during an episode of the podcast. I wouldn't even have known about them otherwise. So shout out to Blah, no longer on the cast, but always in our hearts. I have KBMOD to thank for getting me interested in gaming as a profession and for helping to make it a reality. As a born and raised East Coast guy who just moved 3,000 miles to work in gaming, something that many of the regular cast members can identify with, I want your advice. What should I know as a newcomer to California / San Francisco /
weed.
the gaming industry? Yes, I knew what your answer was going to be, Nick. So, first of all, Justin, that's fucking awesome. This is one of the coolest emails we've ever gotten. You should definitely hit up Blacklight Attack and let him know that him even mentioning that company got you interested and turned on. That sounds weird, but to apply there. But that's awesome, man. That's fantastic. That's an awesome story. So congrats on your new gig. All right. So Nick, your advice is be prepared for weed in California.
Not really. I mean, you don't really have to be prepared for it.
But it is everywhere. But yes. I don't know. I wish he would have said how old he was. I'm not interested. He's probably in his maybe early 20s, maybe mid 20s. I'm not sure.
So, somewhere in
Hard
there.
to tell.
He's moving there with his parents.
Yeah, I mean, I can absolutely identify as that, especially when I got my job at Machinima years ago. And I did the same thing. I moved 3,000 miles. Again, it wasn't San Francisco, but it was LA. And honestly, those were the most formative years of my life, like that time that I spent in California. And so just be open to like new experiences. Be like, there's going to be awkward moments. There's going to be a lot of adjustment. But And try not to get too jaded. I feel like coming from the king of jaded sometimes. I'm not super jaded. I still keep a little bit of childlike enthusiasm. But the gaming industry can be pretty tough once you start seeing like what goes on behind the scenes. But I'm excited for you, man. I think it's gonna be a really cool time. It would be awesome. I never got to live in San Francisco, but I visited a couple times, and whew, beautiful area. I don't know. What about you, Nick? You moved from Minnesota to California to work.
That is where I moved from.
I know, a gaming job. So I don't think you didn't move 3,000 miles, but you moved quite a few. So you're still
yeah. I don't know. If you've never lived in a big city, it's gonna take a little bit to get used to it.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Get ready for random smells of poop.
Yeah. Yeah. Hobos. That's a good point.
Traffic.
Hobos. I didn't even mention, but yeah, I mean, I know in San Francisco they have a lot of hobos too, but lots of hobos.
Terrible traffic.
Just like
traffic. Yeah.
Just when you can walk around like downtown LA and it's like one street is perfectly fine and you like turn a corner, it's like it is urine. This is a urine smell, very strong one.
We got some good ones from chat too. Seth saying get to know public transit, especially in San Francisco. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Use the BART.
Yeah. But that's awesome, man. Katie said, I want to hear your advice. I mean, I know that you don't necessarily have firsthand experience, but come on, give us some advice. And Brad too. Brad, you got to give some advice. I want everybody to give him some advice.
Born and raised in Indiana.
Yeah.
So, not really sure. I think you've got some. You have to be prepared for the worst, like most things in life. It maybe you've got some preconceived notions about people.
Okay.
From depending on where you live now, if it's a lot slower, both physically and mentally in the populace. Yeah, I don't know what I even meant by that. What?
I don't know what just.
I'm just gonna say whatever bullshit I think of.
Okay. Well, that was beautiful. You know what? I think it's gonna resonate with him. I'm totally lost, but I kind of get what you were saying. Brad, anything to add to Katie said?
I think the only thing I hear about living in the Bay Area is people get stuck and, well, they feel like they're stuck and they're in one of the most well-developed and growing parts of the country. Just be flexible and be willing to take risks and go try something new.
That's good though. But I mean, already the fact
like
that you're
PCP.
moving.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like PCP. Yeah. No, but like honestly, like the fact that you're doing this and you're pursuing something that you're passionate about and you're moving 3,000 miles, like all that's really.
Yeah, he's already taken a step where like some people are like, oh man, I couldn't even imagine moving 50 miles away from here,
exactly.
My hometown. But he's already committing to moving across the country and doing something that's huge. So.
Exactly. So man, congrats on that. Really happy that KBMOD was pretty instrumental in for you, hearing about PC gaming and then wanting to pursue this, and that's awesome, dude. This is one of the coolest emails that we've ever gotten. So congrats again to you, Justin. I hope some of that advice was helpful, but anyway, you'll figure it out. I'm sure it's going to be good.
Learn to roll a blunt.
There you go. The realest advice you
They
can
actually at the DMV when you get your license, you have to roll a blunt in front of the lady.
For her.
So true. It's so true.
Yeah, for her.
She has to smoke it and judge it, and then
Yeah, she smokes it for quality. Does this burn evenly? Did you put a little hash on top? What's going on? And we got any oils in here? What kind of concentrates are you using on this? What is this? A sativa indica hybrid? What are we working with? No, this isn't that fire. We're just working with some mids, but I mean the rolling technique is pretty all right. It's holding together solid. The papers aren't cheap. You clearly care about the quality of the blunt itself, but you could really improve in some areas in terms of like the quality flower that you bring to the table.
Wow. Absolutely. So there you go. So just be prepared for that test because that can be pretty daunting. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for your questions and that email, of course. We do have an iTunes podcast review of the week this week, but it's probably not one. Well, it's not one that I expected. So, Again, just real quick, Brandon's not here to give his whole spiel, but we ask if you're going to review the podcast. It's very easy to do. You have to have an iTunes account, which I know for some people that's difficult, but it's not hard. Sign up for it real quick. Apple's going to be blocking access to you using your camera phone anyway. Just submit to the.
I don't see how that's related at all.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're like, oh, I don't want to like Apple, like just accept it. Just make an account, okay? Just do it. And review us and give us 5 stars, which is absolutely what we deserve. And then leave a review. It can be directly related to the podcast. It can be sometimes they're questions, sometimes they're just life stories. We have the Hodes family a couple weeks ago. They did a bunch of different reviews, and we also had a review I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm not sure, from somebody called Definitely Not Brandon, or I'm sorry, I think it was Definitely Not Volition. I'm not sure exactly. It might have been Definitely Not Brandon.
Definitely not Voltron.
Yes. But they are back again this week, and we had commented on that review by Brandon a couple weeks ago, the Definitely Not Brandon review, that there was some misspellings. Remember, guys? And we were like, that's probably not Brandon, right? If it's misspelled, because he would never let that fly. So the title of this review is actually, it's called Correction. Of course, a 5-star review. It is by Definitely Not Brandon. And from what I can tell, it simply corrects all of the incorrectly spelled words from the previous review. So it has hello, sacrifice, the use of it's without an apostrophe. It's got intelligence spelled correctly, sacrifice. I'm just going to put it into the chat, but all of them have basically asterisks next to them to show that they are now spelled correctly. So hello, sacrifice, it's intelligence, sacrifice, with a star, and then it says corrected by VO2222ON. So he had it all right. He had it all right, but then kind of messed up at the end there. So I appreciate the commitment to this. Actually going back and trying to kind of amend for the misspellings and stuff like that of the previous review. I'm trying to see if I could put this into the chat, but it is an image. But thank you. So again, I do we think this is Brandon or no?
Sorry, I just vaped.
Oh my God! How big of a cloud? Must have been huge.
Well, what do we have to work with? We have evidence that it's definitely not Brandon.
Yes, I mean it says
in
that.
The title.
Yeah.
But I don't think we could rule it out. Well, here's the thing. It's VO2222ON.
Yeah, exactly.
Brandon's made it very clear before that there's a 1 instead of a 2.
Yeah. So this just doesn't seem. You know what? I appreciate this person's commitment to the meme. I do. That they actually came back and did this, but this just doesn't. To me, this just doesn't reek of something that Brandon would actually.
Oh no! You know what I've done? I've said it was. I've called that the VO2222ON.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's gonna come back next week and correct that.
Yeah, you're right. It's just.
What have I done?
Well, we'll see. We'll see if he comes back. But thank you for the 5-star review. Definitely not Brandon. Thank you for trying to correct your mistakes, and it's appreciated, man. So I think that's going to do it for episode 241 of the KBMOD podcast. We'll be back next week with more delicious musings on probably food, because we love talking about food, and our take on the news and gaming in general. But we really appreciate you listening, and especially if you download the podcast and listen on Tuesdays or whenever it comes down to your device. I appreciate you. I don't judge you for not listening live. Like I said before, I've atoned for my sins with that, and I love you just as much as our live viewers that are here. But if you want to catch the podcast live, obviously we go live at 10 Eastern on Sundays, pretty much every week, and you can check that out on twitch.tv/KBMOD. Go to our website, kbmod.com. Check out that preview of Lawbreakers that we were talking about previously. Also, build guides, which I'm being assured are coming back once there's actually places to buy the new NVIDIA video cards, correct? I think that's what Brandon was talking about last week.
That is correct.
So, yeah, the build guides will come back once they can actually, figure out where you can actually buy the cards. It was good having Nick on, Blast from the Past, the Vape Lord himself. Hopefully we'll,
Here's a build guide. Pre-order a fucking Xbox One Slim, bitch.
Damn.
Or an Xbox One S, is that what it's called? I don't even remember.
Oh, and also a shout out. This is if you have not watched All Sham No Wow's E3
oh yeah
2016 Circus, it's so fucking good this year. Yeah, it's amazing. So check that video out. All Sham No Wow on YouTube.
Also watch Summer Games Done Quick, which we
Yes.
totally forgot
we
to
didn't
mention.
we didn't
That's going
discuss,
now.
but yes, that has started, as it does every year. So yeah, check that out. All right, guys, thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next week. Farewell.
Oh God, I wasn't ready for
Nicholas Fenton is a charming young gay-ass butterfly.
it. What the? Jesus
Did you have
Christ,
that? Did you have that prepared?
that threw me off.
Oh man.
Wait, are we still going?
Yeah, we're still live. We're still live.
Okay.
Oh shit. All right.
What a yatta for the ages.